Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, another bodybuilding video. Today we are training arms, biceps, triceps. This is going to go in the catalog of all the workouts that I've done, and there's probably about 5 different arm workouts. This one is going to be slightly different, and it's all about progressively overloading the muscle in each and every single one of these exercises. Some of these you might not have even done before, which will be awesome. And yes, as always, I'll give you the tempos, the sets, the reps, and explain absolutely everything and why I like to do each and every exercise the way I'm doing them. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this one and you can save this into your routine and yeah, make some gains. Of course, don't forget, if you do like this video and you're thinking, oh, how can I pay him back for this awesome free content? Just leave a like. That's all you need to do, and it helps other people enjoy the video. So yeah, let's just go straight into the workout.
First exercise is a cable straight bar curl. I am actually using a V-shaped bar, which I much prefer for doing the curls. First, you want to grab the bar and pay attention as I step 1 foot away and lean back slightly before curling the bar. There are 2 reasons for this. 1, this allows for a greater range of motion during the exercise, meaning the biceps will be under tension for longer. 2, a lean away makes this harder as it stops you swinging or cheating during the reps, meaning your biceps will be working harder to perform the curl. During each curl, make sure to keep your elbows close to your body and avoid swinging the elbow forward too much when curling. Here's a tip that will make a huge difference during the exercise. Squeeze the handle of the bar during the entire movement. By doing this, you'll automatically engage your biceps, meaning they will be under tension throughout the exercise. At the top of every single curl and every bicep exercise, make sure you squeeze the bicep like it owes you money and keep that contraction throughout. On the last set, you'll be performing a drop set. So perform as many reps given and then straight into as many reps as possible. Superset with cable crossovers. This is by far one of my favorite ways to target my triceps. Have the cable at the highest point, and then as you grab onto the cable in a crisscross action, or in simpler terms, one arm over and one arm under each other. I like to lean forward. Why? Because I find this allows for a much better range of motion when performing the pull down. Unlike the biceps, you want to squeeze your triceps at the bottom of the movement. So pull down, squeeze as hard as you can, and keep that contraction during the eccentric. If you only have one cable as the other may be preoccupied, then you can perform a cable kickback as an alternative. That way you aren't waiting around for the machine. If there's one tip I will give you all when trying to build muscle or doing any bodybuilding workout is, in general, the most important thing is quality of the reps and not just performing the exercises. So if you have 12 reps, you should make every single rep count. So train with intent. Focus on contracting the muscle working and really focus on keeping it under tension throughout the 12 reps. Also, if you're given, for example, 10 reps and you complete the 10 reps easily, make sure you increase the weight for the next set. Failing on the 9th rep is absolutely fine, and that means you are progressively overloading the muscle. Next, we have the incline spider curls, another great bicep exercise as performing the curls this way really forces your biceps to work much harder than a standing or seated curl. I like to have the bench at a 45-degree angle or slightly higher and chest right up to the edge of the bench. Keep your elbows slightly behind your delts and not further in front, and your arms should be right by your side. In fact, it should feel like it's stuck to the side of the bench. The reason I have my elbows slightly behind my delt is to keep a lot more emphasis on my biceps during the curl. Make sure you squeeze the handle of that dumbbell before you start the curl up and keep that tension throughout the reps. Trust me, it makes a huge difference. Notice how I barely move my elbows forward during the curl, even when it starts to get difficult. Performing the spider curls removes momentum from the exercise, meaning not only will your biceps be working twice as hard, but you will probably have to scale the weights you usually use, and it removes any form of ego lifting. The tempo, aka time under tension, on every single one of these exercises is key because we want to keep the muscle under tension for longer and a great way to add progressive overload into the exercises. Superset with incline dumbbell extensions. Now pay close attention to the setup for this. I like to shift further up the bench, and then arms should be taken further back. So I would suggest trying this without any weight to familiarize yourself with the positioning before you start the routine. Taking the arms back is a great way of not only increasing range of motion, which means working the triceps a lot more, but also less strenuous on your elbows. Notice when I bring the dumbbells down behind my head and not by my ears. Again, this is far better for your triceps. And notice at the top of the movement, my arms are still at a lean away. This makes the extension so much harder, and again, takes away any form of momentum. And yes, you will find that you are using much lighter weights, but your triceps are working harder during the movement. Control that eccentric tempo each rep to keep the muscle under tension for as long as possible during the exercise. Here's a simple tip if you struggle to feel your triceps during dumbbell extensions, which by the way, a lot of people do. During the eccentric, basically when bringing the dumbbell down, I want you to squeeze your triceps as hard as you can and almost have the intention of trying to use your triceps to stop the dumbbell going down. So you're basically trying to resist against gravity. You will find that after you complete the reps, your triceps will be absolutely pumped. And you're probably wondering why? Well, that's because you have learned to engage them whilst performing the exercise. Remember when I mentioned training with intent? There is a big difference in making every rep count rather than just counting every rep. I want you to think about that for a second, or three. This applies to you no matter if you're a newbie or a pretty advanced lifter. Train with intent. Next up, we have the easy curls. Honestly, I haven't done these in a while, and I realized how incredible these were when I started weight training. I always use the wider part of the bar, and notice how for the first set, my elbows are close to my body at all times, and I avoid swinging too much to avoid any cheat reps. There is a time and place, which I will show you in a second. Focus on the tempo, and at the top of the curl, well, you don't want me to repeat, well, okay, I will. Squeeze the muscle like it owes you money. Now for the second and third set, we shall be going heavier. And now remember when I said cheat curls has its place, well, that applies here. It is fine to swing at the elbow as it gets really heavy, as in 8 rep max, but make sure you control the eccentric tempo. The muscle works harder during the eccentric, so make sure you control that portion of the movement when it gets heavy. Here's another tip. When you see in a workout 1 times in brackets 8 times 10, that means it's a drop set. So perform the 8 reps, then reduce the weight by about 30 to 40% and straight into another 10 reps or till failure. This is what a drop set means. It could also say, for example, in brackets, again, 8 times 10 times 10. That means it's a drop set of 3. So perform 8 reps, reduce the weight, perform 10 reps, then reduce the weight again and perform another 10 reps or till failure. Hopefully this clears up a lot of questions about drop sets. The plank press up is one of those exercises that is very deceptive as it looks easy, but it's absolutely brutal. In a plank position, making sure elbows are aligned or slightly behind your shoulders and arms out in front. Make sure you brace your core before you drive up. Push your palms down, almost like you're trying to push the floor away. Then during the eccentric, slow down the tempo as you can see in the video. This is one of my favorite bodyweight tricep exercise, and if done correctly, will be in rotations in your programs. Don't worry if you struggle at first with a full press, you can focus on the eccentric and then come up one side at a time, as you can see in the video. The main focus is to really control that eccentric. Whenever you see tempo for any of my workouts, it usually applies to the eccentric phase of the exercise. It can be applied to concentric, but then I will indicate when applicable. Here's another quick note. If you are a beginner, this is a perfect exercise to end with. However, I have found over the years as an advanced lifter, I need to add a little bit more in my bicep and tricep routine. So the next 2 exercises are a great addition to finish off the session. However, it's not needed or mandatory. And next we have the cable rope curls. I like to lean away slightly and notice compared to most of my other exercises, I allow my elbows to swing forward slightly when performing the exercise, but still control the eccentric. One thing I always do with the cable rope curl is just as I curl to the top, I create a Y shape with the rope. This is to get that extra contraction on my bicep. If you haven't done this before, try it. It makes a difference and adds a little bit extra to the exercise. I always am trying to find ways of really targeting the muscle I'm working during my weight training workout. Those little tricks can make a big difference in the long run. And then superset with a cable pull down. Again, I like to lean forward when performing this exercise. With the pull down, I perform the reverse of what I do with the rope during the bicep curls. So you want to create an upside down V. Now, why, you may ask? Well, this is to create that extra contraction on your triceps at the bottom of the pull down. Again, every little helps, and this is another example of finding ways to really target the muscle and make it work harder. So pull down the rope and really pull apart that rope and keep that contraction on your triceps all the way up. On both the biceps and tricep exercises, squeeze that rope before you start the exercise. This will automatically contract and engage the muscle you are working, as well as a great way to get your forearm stronger, as it will also be engaged throughout. And that's another bicep and tricep routine you can add to your many workout programs I have provided over the years. And one thing that makes me happy is seeing you all implementing my training and making great progress. And that has been a joy to witness. If you enjoyed this video, please help me by leaving a thumbs up, as it helps my channel and I can continue to provide you with more awesome free content. And also, please let me know anything else you would want to see from me. It could be more workouts or fitness tips and so on. Thank you so much for watching, and catch you in the next video.